Let's have a frank talk about alcohol and use of stimulants together. You've probably been told that they shouldn't ever be mixed. Well, let's examine this very closely. Stay tuned. Hi, this is GH Glade for Everyday ADD Coaching. One of the things to realize about alcohol is that it is a central nervous system depressant. It slows down your breathing, it slows down the activity of the brain. And alcohol is the most commonly used drug beyond caffeine, very commonly used in social situations. It's a complement to certainly nice food. A little bit is a really nice, pleasant thing, but more than that can take over your life. 70% of people with an ADD brain at some point in their life will check the box for a chemical use disorder. And I like this a lot better than calling it dependence versus abuse. This suggests that in some way, shape, manner, or means, use of a substance, alcohol, or other drugs has become a problem. It can be social, occupational, relationship. Oh, relationships are such a biggie with this. You might think that because a stimulant medication increases the availability of all those excitatory neurotransmitters, it improves focus, physical activity, alertness, the ability to regulate attention, that it would directly counteract the effects of alcohol, which is kind of to do just the opposite. The interesting thing is it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. Due to the effect, both substances can be amplified. Rather than canceling each other out, the use of alcohol can increase concentration of drugs in the system of an individual, which can make them more likely to overdose. Specific risks of mixing alcohol and stimulants include raising your body temperature, increasing your heart rate, your blood pressure, and for some people, causing irregular heart rate. Do people drink while on a stimulant? Absolutely, yes, they do. One of the things that sometimes gets left out in the argument is proportionality. Alcohol has a dose proportionality to its central nervous system depressant effects. Many people find that when they have a stimulant in their system, that potentiation of alcohol makes them far more sensitive to the effects of alcohol. Is light, moderate, occasional drinking something that people do? Absolutely, they do. Does it typically cause them any harm? If it's light and occasional, typically no. Again, we have that dose proportionality, but one should always be cautious and mindful of the use of two substances that can really interact quite badly. I ask people to think about what's the role that alcohol or other substances takes in your life. Is it something you use as a default when you need to relax or unwind? Is it necessarily the healthiest way to do that? Is it a pleasant augmentation to a nice meal once in a while? Yeah, that's not a bad use of alcohol. But certainly considering what is the role, what is the impact is something that everybody who drinks more than very occasionally should really think about in terms of their use. We find a real prevalence of alcohol use because it helps slow down a busy brain for someone with the ADD mind. What I'm asking you to do is consider these risk factors before you make a decision to use alcohol. Realize that, yes, there is a proportionality. If you drink heavily while using a stimulant, you are putting yourself at risk. There's no two ways about that. If you're having an occasional drink while you have the effects of a stimulant on board, we have some dose proportionality. Do people do this? Absolutely, they do. Do people have any harm from this? Generally not. But each person is individual, and I'm asking you to make really mindful decisions and choices about your use of alcohol and other drugs. So this is J.H. Clay for Everyday ADD Coaching. If you have found this a helpful presentation, please give it a like. I also appreciate comments and I make every effort to respond to every comment. Sometimes I'm not the most timely, but I do make that effort. So until next week, take care and have a good week.